everywhere in the atmosphere is Krishna and Radha's name. The flavor, the sound of their name, and the flavor and the feeling of their pastimes is in the atmosphere. You know atmosphere? The air. Oh, Radharani, I'm in Vrindavan. You live in Vrindavan. Now I'm sitting on this rickshaw. I'm going to Radharaman, and I'm going along, and I'm seeing this road to the right from Fogalashram. This road goes to Davanala Kund, and Davanala Kund is where Krishna and that's where the gopis first express their Purva Rag. This is in Ananda Vrindavan, Champu, it's in English. After Kaliya, Krishna vanquished Kaliya's serpent, then everyone was too tired from running all the way from Nandagram, Varsana, Yavat. The mothers, fathers, everybody ran down the Kaliya Daha to the Yamuna near Keshigat, Kaliya Daha, to find Lala, to find Krishna, who they thought was finished by Kaliya. So they're very tired, and it was late at night. It was in the evening time. So Nanda Maharaj said, "Let's go nearby here, and we'll all camp." So they're all camping near that area, Davanala Kund. Davanala means forest fire. Ala, Nala, Nala is a name for Agni. Dava means forest. Davanala. Samsara Davanala Lida Loka. And you know this. So Samsara Davanala Davanala, it's like Davanala Lida. Very beautiful. Sanskrit, Vishnu Chakravarti. Samsara Davanala Lida Loka. It's very beautiful. Lila Lula Lila Lo. Samsara is very beautiful. So Davanala means forest fire. So they're all sleeping Brijvasis. All the men were on one side, and Krishna was there, all surrounded by Nanda Baba, coward boys Nanda Baba. And then there was some guards, and then there was of Nanda Baba. Then there were other guards of Vrishabhanu and Chandrabhanu and others. And then on that was like this line. This one. This is all Gopas and Krishna, and that one is all Gopis. So Radharani said all Gopis are there. And then middle of the night there's a big forest fire. And that there's a kund there to commemorate that. So they said, what's happening here? There must be a friend of Kansa or a friend of Kaliya. He sent someone out of revenge to burn us all up. So then Krishna, he swallowed the forest fire. So that's So you're just riding on the rickshaw, and you remember that because you're in Vrindavan, that, this street goes there, and I went there, and this pastime. And then you're remembering Krishna's Leela, and you start praying, when could I see this? Late at night, before that forest fire, everyone fell asleep, and Krishna was very restless, because he knew that although he's a very young boy, and he was only maybe 7 or so, 6, 7 years old, but he had already fallen in love with Radha. So he said, very near, Radharani's very near here. I never talked to her before. So Krishna's restless, so then he sat up and he stretched like this, and everyone was lying on the ground sleeping. He was sitting up, all the gopas. Then next to him there was all Chandrabhanu and Vrishabhanu and Subhanu and all the coward ladies and Jatila, Kutila, Radharani, Mukara, all the Brijvasi ladies and gopis, elderly and younger gopis were just next door. They were all sleeping. So when Krishna stood up, then somehow Radharani, she understood that she was also restless. So she also woke up about 1 o'clock, and she stretched, and she looked across to all the gopis and everyone around that was surrounding her, and Krishna looked, and they saw each other. So that happened at Davanala Kund, a very sweet exchange. That's called Purva Rag, prior, a beginning, falling in love. So when one is just riding on the rickshaw to see Radharaman coming from Ramanreti, where many devotees live, maybe you don't live there, but just to give you an example, then he goes by that street, by Fogel Ashram, then he goes further, then he goes by Nidhiban, the road goes like this, after Lai Bazaar, he sees the street, the Nidhiban, so the whole time he's in Vrindavan, he has that mood of humility, respect, gratitude, prayer, and remembrance of Krishna's lila. So this is the way to live in Vrindavan, with these moods, and these thoughts, these meditations. So you have all these guidebooks to Vrindavan, maybe even in Russian, I don't know. Guidebook to Vrindavan, guidebook to Radhakund, guidebook to Govardhan. So you look at that over and over again, and you go visit, then you know these places. So then they be just like if you go to Russia, you know where your house is, and you know where your school is, and you know where the market is, and you know where the stores are, because you live there. This street goes there, and that street goes there. So you study, you live there, you're familiar. So when you live in Vrindavan, you become familiar with all the lila places, and they become part of you. So this is the mood. The basic mood of Vrindavan is humility, respect, and gratitude. That's the mood of living in Vrindavan.